And thanks for jumping on. For those getting in, we're just going to give it another minute so people can get in. And hi, Deanna. I see your cute face now.
Oh, thank you. Good to see you guys.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think we've got Christian too. So hopefully, Christian, you're ready to kick it off here in a minute. So while we're getting him situated, so Deanne, do you kind of mind giving everybody kind of an update on the market from the lender's perspective? I know you guys are kind of running the show these days with the rates, at least.
Yeah,
So,
and I wish I was more popular today than I am.
Oh,
but
yeah, that's okay.
yeah,
Take the news, whatever it is. So.
Yeah, it's inflation is at a 42-year high. So this is what we're experiencing right now is inflation numbers. Until things can get under control, we can anticipate that we're likely to see additional hikes. This week it's settled from late last week, so no big changes. The Feds are meeting this week. So provided that the expected increase to the overnight funds, which is not a mortgage rate, but the overnight funds is what the banks borrow from other banks. And that's what's going to be determined this week. The markets are anticipating or already built in that increase is going to be about 0.75%. If it stays at that, then things will more than likely level. But if all of a sudden that goes from like 0.75 up to 1.25, then we'll see another adjustment midweek in interest rates. So just be on the lookout for that. The money makers and people making these type of decisions, they're really trying to hold on to thinking that the 10-year bond is going to stay below 3.5%. It's about 3.47 right now. So if you see all of a sudden that 10-year bond moving up over that 3.5 threshold, you can expect that rates will go up again. So hang in there. Yeah. Any questions? It's a lot of information. Just know that there's different indexes. A mortgage rate is not an overnight rate. Okay. An overnight rate is what the Feds are going to determine this week. It has an impact on 30-year mortgages, but it's not the only factor that goes into play. There's a lot of other factors as well. But that's what we have our eye on the ball right now is what's going to happen this week to that overnight funds.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. I know that it's a little bit of a dose of what we can share to our clients. There's so much in the media right now that I think
the best you could do is just say it's inflationary, because that's all we're all feeling that right now is inflation. You know, what it costs for eggs, what it costs for everything at the store, at the gas pump. We're all feeling that. So if I were a real estate agent and I didn't really follow the market, that, you know, I would just say, yes, it's very volatile right now. Interest rates have gone up over 3 points since, you know, last year. So but the market is still hot. There's still not, we're not over inventory to where we're going to see a big decline. There's still plenty of offers going out there. There are still multiple offers going on out there. Yeah. So the people, it's an opportunity for your buyers last year, they were paying $100,000 more than the house is worth. This year, they have an opportunity to get their offer accepted with 5% down. So I think it's a buyer's market. And I think you can, you know, talk to your first time home buyers. This is an opportunity this year that they did not see last year.
Yeah, I love that. And I know that we've been sharing that with a lot of the agents that we've been talking to this week, right, Candace? So it's getting the good information out there to them. They're craving the good information. So thank you, Deanne. So tonight we've got a special treat. We've got a quick little message from Reminder Media. So we've got Christian Ward here on the call, who is from Reminder Media, which is a magazine type company. Candace, you actually use Reminder Meter, so I'm hoping you can kind of introduce him a little bit better than what I could.
Yes, yes. I use Reminder Media. So this is also otherwise known as American Lifestyles Magazine, but they've come out with some pretty amazing products, over the past year and a half. And I've been using them for probably four to 5 years. And so some of the new products. And so Christian's going to go ahead and just share some of that information. Not just, they don't have only just your standard American Lifestyle magazine. They have a health one. There's a bit more. I won't go in and steal the thunder, but we'll go ahead and let you go ahead and share, Christian.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Well, and while Christian's getting that all up, I just want to let you guys know. So he's going to have some things to share for sure. And then the last 15 minutes or so, we've got some special stuff. So stay tuned. We've got some things that Rochelle's going to speak on as well. So take it away, Christian.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for having me out. And Candace, thanks for that introduction. My name's Christian. I'm one of the marketing coordinators over here at Reminder Media. A little bit about our company. We started back in 2004. We've been around for about 18 years now, and we've grown substantially because of our presence in the realm of real estate. Our goal is to help you stay connected. So no referral business and no repeat clients are slipping through the cracks. So I start with a pretty broad statement that whether you're brand new to the business, you're part-time, or you're selling houses to the Flintstones, wherever you land on that spectrum, you need to create an environment that encourages referrals and clients to come back and work with you in preceding years. So that is critical to your success in this business. So a couple studies from NAR last year, 60% of buyers and 68% of sellers found their agents through two main sources, be it referral business or working with a professional that they had used in previous years. So there's something surprising on the seller's end of that, because everybody would traditionally like to be a great listing agent. What we found on the seller side was a total of 5% of listings came from internet sources and traditional mail, direct mail combined. So whether people are going online and researching a neighborhood or an agent, or they're ultimately making those listing decisions with somebody that they've experienced or somebody that they're being referred to. So the question was, where were agents spending their marketing dollars? Knowing that 68% of the average agent's listings last year were coming from that style of business, it found that 63% of agents were spending $0 a year on referral-based relationship style expenses. So that's where we come in. Our goal, I mean, if you're driving to pick up the kiddos, you're going to a listing, you're driving home from work, you see a for sale sign in somebody else's yard, and you know that person, it's a past client, a friend, a neighbor even, and it's not your face on that sign. Or you're on the MLS and you see a potential client that you've already been working with who ultimately listed with another agent. Those are missed opportunities, and our goal is to keep you in front of everyone that you know on a routine basis, so that, because human nature, it tends to hover towards what it sees most frequently. So with that being said, being in front of your clients and reminding them how much you appreciate them, plus how much you appreciate the business that they send your way, will go a long way. So that's where we come in. We want to keep you connected with those SOI and past clients so that you can drive as much referral business as possible. And like Candace said, we have a few ways of doing that now. We started with our flagship publication, The American Lifestyle. It's designed after an architectural digest. So it's general interest articles on things like art and travel and leisure. A few years ago, we released Start Healthy. It's more health and wellness based, so improving your immune system, creating a better sleep environment, some fitness and wellness tips. Then last year, we actually put out a magazine that was designed for residential real estate. It's called Good to Be Home. It's got interior design and improving your home's value, landscaping, things to do around the home. Then this year, we put out Business in Action, more of the sales and marketing style magazine. What's nice is they're all set up exactly the same. So they're all 48 pages, coffee table quality. We send them directly out to your clients for you, and they're rewritten every 2 months. So it's always fresh content. We make it very easy to maintain. So since the price is the same on all of them, if you would like to use different magazines to market to different clients at different times, you can rotate between them as you see fit. So you're featured right on the front cover. It's going to show your headshot, contact information, logo right on the front inside cover. We customize it to your clients by name. You can include a personal letter or a general greeting, something like a bio or a value prop. There's two branded tear out cards, one in the front, one in the back of the magazine. These are designed to be torn out and passed along from the people that you send it to, or be hung around the refrigerator if you put a great recipe or something maybe like a design idea that they want to get to later. There's one right in the back. Then you get to customize the back inside cover and back outside side cover. We have templates for everything. So it can be very plug and play, or if you would like to do some customization, like putting in previously sold and upcoming listings, some client testimonials, you have plenty of space to do that as well. Just not cost-effective ways to like long-term market. The pot buys, the events, the dinners, the bottles of wine and gifts. They're great for maybe A-list clients or somebody on occasion, but it's not something we can be doing day in, day out. Then the postcards and newsletters, where we separate ourselves from traditional mailers like that, is our shelf life. Our clients have talked about how long we're in the homes and what we see as an average of 3 to 4 weeks. So it's getting past the trash can and sitting on the coffee table or kitchen islands, especially gathering times like the holidays coming up, is a great place for you to be seen. So I'll pause and answer any questions y'all might have. If not, I'll get into the pricing real quick and we can go from there.
And I think I'll just echo that for the shelf life. I know I get one of the magazines, I think from someone, I think it's Candace or someone. And I know it sits on my countertop for at least a month before it goes in the trash, just because there's recipes and things like that, or ideas or design ideas that it's just fun to flip through. So yeah, go for it. Go into pricing if you're good with that.
Of course. So last thing I touch on real quick, we are trying to take the guesswork out of the marketing. Our targeted follow-up is included with it. It's predictive analytics, so we can help rate your database and narrow down either who you should be mailing to or who you should consider mailing to, just based on their likelihood to move in the next 6 to 12 months. So this is what it would look like to roll out a mailing with us, because we are in the middle of our holiday edition right now. So if you have any questions, my number's on the screen, my email's there. Give me a call or shoot me a text and we can see how it would fit into your situation. So just as a thank you to you guys, we're going to take $200 off of our activation, $99 one-time account setup. That's going to give you exclusivity of your mailing list. So anyone you send to is locked in as your client. So no one else can use our tools to prospect your client list. Then we give you a social media library that includes free landing page. We can do some QR codes on the magazine, and you get a personal marketing advisor to hold your hand through the whole setup and walkthrough and customization process to make it as turnkey as possible. Plus you can use that targeted follow-up at no charge. The magazines are on rolling deadlines every Wednesday. They're paid for the week you give us approvals to print. They're $4.19 per copy. The minimum order is only $50, so it comes to a total of $209.50. That does include all of the printing, the postage, and the customization cost. Lastly, we'll include a trial mailing with the holiday edition or the New Year's edition, just depending on your timing. It'll just be a one-time mailing so that you can gauge the response of it before you commit to any future business with us. So I'll leave you with this, just the fact that great time to reach out, touch base with your clients. The holidays, just a reason to follow up and see what's going on in their lives, because the average consumer doesn't associate every marriage or divorce or childbirth or graduation with their real estate agent. So if you're following up with the magazine, talking about an article or a design idea, you're going to get into those conversations that you may not have heard about. So any questions you guys have, I'm happy to hang out. If not, give me a ring and we can see what we can do for your situation.
I have a question. Does it include the shipping cost?
That $419 does include all of the shipping cost.
Yeah, it's good money well spent. That much I can tell you, because Candace does it, and I know a lot of our other agents that are purely working with referrals and clients that they've already worked with in the past, or friends and family. It is money well spent.
Well, thank you
Hey,
guys so
Chris.
much.
Love the idea of just being able to know that the mailing is gone out, and I have now a reason to follow up with my clients. Once I get the magazine, I can reach out to some that I haven't talked to in a while and just say, hey, just wondering, did you get the magazine? Is it still a value add for you? And on to more conversation. So.
Hey, Chris, what's my deadline to get you stuff for the holiday edition?
So we have about 4 weeks of print deadlines left, not including this Wednesday. So after this Wednesday, so we have about a month of time.
Okay.
To get it all finalized.
Okay. I'll shoot you an email afterwards.
All right, perfect.
Thanks.
Well, thank you guys so
Perfect.
much. Enjoy the rest of your
Thank you.
evening.
Yes, thanks for joining us, Christian. I sure appreciate it. And for those who are needing his information later, just send Candace a message or send him directly. Hopefully you were able to snag a picture. If not, just contact us. We can get you in touch with Christian directly.
Actually, and Christian, if you want to just drop your information, you're in the chat, that would be awesome too.
Perfect. I'll put it in there and I'll shoot you guys an email with all the pricing and stuff. So thank you guys.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye now.
So I wanted to switch gears a little bit for you guys. Hopefully you guys are flexible. And we've got Rochelle here who's on the line. Rochelle, do you mind unmuting yourself to make sure we can hear you? We've got a couple things we wanted to run through to go over what other things you can do to build that referral-based business. So Rochelle, go for it. I'll get the visuals on the screen for you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Go ahead and put the visuals on. First off, that was great. I told him quick and 15 minutes is all he had, and he held to it. So that's a good sign of a salesperson if they actually do what they say they're going to do. So I appreciate that. And I know we've used American Lifestyle. And I'll kind of go through some of the considerations before you jump into doing magazine advertising, which is what Lifestyle magazine would be. I also use another magazine, and I've had great success with it over the years, so I know it works. But it's all about working a repeat and referral based business, really coming at real estate from a different angle than going online and buying internet leads. This is kind of taking a different approach to building a repeat and referral business. Starting with you, the individual, and working your way into the community through a different way of marketing. Let's keep on going, Shannon. There we go. So one of the things you want, he kind of alluded to it. This is from the Realtor, the national survey that was done. That, a lot of these are repeat and referral business, 80%. It's still very, very, very high. So although these online entities are out there trying to grab at business, at the end of the day, the biggest source of business is people that know you, that you've done business with before, and there are referrals that come from people that know you and know that you're in the business. So you really want to tap into that. But for sell by owners is a small piece, internet leads also a small piece. And the bulk of the business, and actually, if you look at Best Choice Realty's business, we do over 90% of our business is sphere of influence. There's not as much as you'd think. You think all of these, technology hubs that are in our back door, we'd actually do more. And we actually do more from the sphere of influence, which is what we're going to talk about. Next slide. So when I've kind of pulled different brokers, top producers that work for Best Choice, how did you find success in building a repeat and referral business? These are some of the things that they've told me as I've had conversations, hey, why don't we go ahead and include a magazine? Why don't we do some more like mail pieces to your sphere of influence? This is kind of the why. How did they find success and what did they say? Really, they found that social proof is really important. So they trust. They've built trust with their past clients, and putting a magazine in front of them only improves that social proof. Also, maintaining relationships with the sphere has been super important. Agents, top producers I've talked to say they largely build it through social media. So they may not post as much on social media. And then by sending a magazine or some mail pieces, it just kind of adds another layer of touch points to their plan. The other reason why they tend to go this direction is because they would prefer to work with, it's a longer game. Sometimes doing a magazine, you might not see results the first subscription or the first month that it goes out, like the holiday edition, like he's talking about, but it's longevity. So if you plan on being in the business for at least a year or two, this would be the longer game, but it's a much more lucrative. When you think about $4 or $5 an issue, that's not that much when it comes to if I had to go buy coffee or I had to go, build some other type of plan. It's a lot harder to attract that business when you actually are building a much more experienced, longer business that's going to be around for a long time. The other thing that they said is it shows that you care more. So if you can find a magazine, and what I like about American Lifestyle is they have these other options. So I personally use another magazine, which you certainly have access to as well at Best Choice, but they don't have as much variety like American Lifestyle would have. So they don't have the health option. and some of these business options and different types of magazines. American Lifestyle has that. The one I tend to go with is Home by Design because it's more of the interior design and that type of background. So if I was sitting there and I saw Home by Design do their pitch or their presentation tonight, I would tend to think, well, gosh, they haven't really expanded their product to appeal to a wider audience like all of you. And that's why I wanted to have them jump on and kind of go through their pitch and what they offer, because we know it works on having this consistent piece in those households of your sphere. So I use it. I like that you have options. With the other design magazine, you actually have to send out a lot more in order to get the pricing where it is. So it actually ends up being a very, very valuable product that American Lifestyle is pitching for less than $5 an issue. It actually is less expensive way to go than the one I'm using. Fine tuning your communication style. So make sure that you align with the magazine that kind of represents your clientele. Maybe you have more clients that are into health versus interior design. Go with that option if I was to kind of lead you down a path. There are several different issues, and what I like about American Lifestyle is there actually is much more customization that you have the ability to customize on that type of magazine. I love that it's consistent and the follow through is kind of built in. So once you set it up and you give them the addresses, the home addresses or the business addresses, I send mine to my hairstylist. I send it to my dentist. I send it to some of those affiliated partners. And I've seen business come from that because they put it in their lobbies or they have it set up that way. So get it so it's consistent. Almost don't even have to go in there and refresh it. I've had to go in there and refresh it once the last year just because I know some of my people have died and I've got to remove them from the mail out. So that's really how consistent it can be. And then the reason the agents go this direction is because they want to have some sort of plan, some sort of follow-up that happens after the sale. So once you work with them, say you got a lead from Zillow or from Redfin or from your referral partner, and you actually are wanting to consistently make sure that they know you're in the business, that's one reason to add them to your magazine subscription, because then they see your name and your face and your picture and your website consistently every other month or 4 times a year or whatever you end up deciding to go with. And then you can actually leverage your title or escrow company to provide you with that address. And that way it would make it easy for you to update your list, to update before they send out. They usually send out a reminder. And I think, Candace, you get a reminder in the email, right? That says, hey, the subscription's going out. You have 2 weeks to update your list. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay. So you can leverage your TC if you need to. If you're like, oh, I need to start somewhere, maybe your TC can get you a list of all your people or your closed clients. But just make sure you watch those mail out, those deadlines, so that you can update if you need to add people to the magazine subscription, or if, in my case, of when people die, I actually take them off. Let's go to the next slide, Jim.
Yeah, and I think before we switch over, I think it's worth mentioning too that different items that are bolded here on the screen are the reasons that someone would choose you as a real estate agent versus someone else. I think most consumers, they know at least 2 or 3 real estate agents that are out there. There's so many that are licensed. And I think if you're able to provide value or just one of the different things that are on here, then that's one way that you can set yourself apart when you're talking about your friends and family and referrals.
Good point. So people ask me, okay, well, I don't do the magazine right now. Where do I get started? Where should I focus on? Or maybe you determine your budget is a certain amount and you're trying to figure out where should you focus this kind of marketing to. These are the people that get the magazine are the people that you want to work with. These are people that you enjoy talking with. Do you have their name? Do you have their spouse's name? It looks better when they get it with their name on it. You'll need their email address. You can look if you're like, I don't have anybody in my area. Who do you give your money to? I mean, I moved back from another state and moved to a different location. And so my sphere of influence changed. And when that happened, I went ahead and updated my sphere of influence list. And to do that, I looked at my bank statement, my phone records, my social media. I kind of trolled through my social media accounts and really looked at kind of maybe the closings on the MLS, the friends, my family, my community groups, to drill down and who are the people that I actually want to surround myself with in this type of marketing way. Sorry about that. A lot of text messages coming right now.
Well, I think too, just to echo on it, Rochelle, a little bit, is it's trying to figure out who is your core group of people. When you think about Dunbar's law of numbers, it doesn't need to be 1,000 people. It doesn't need to be 50 people. It's just finding that sweet spot of number of people that you're connecting with on a daily basis. So, or weekly, monthly, whatever it may be. One of our agents, for instance, has, she doesn't do a lot of lists or cold. She works exclusively with people who already know her. And the reason that they know her is because she's involved in the PTAs. She's involved in her kids' sporting activities. So she's interacting with all of those parents that are there. So it's how can I extend my network beyond just friends and family, and constantly be adding people to your list of people who know you, who interact with you, who like you. And so she's found a lot of success from that. So, I mean, that's just some ways that you can do it. There's another one of her agents who he goes fishing. And so he's got his fishing buddies that he's there on the river with every year, so it's just finding that group of people that you can interact with in a more natural way, that can translate into referrals.
But I would say, don't be so shy. When I did this, when I first gave my magazine company my list of people, Shannon, do I have their address? If I don't have their address, I'm looking up their address, right? And I'm just sending them, I'm not even calling them, just send the magazine. Don't even worry about it. They know you.
Yeah.
And if they haven't, they're like, who's this person? They'll look you up, like, who's sending me this magazine? It's a beautiful piece. I know when Candace got her issue and with her new picture and everything on the magazine, people text you like, what? Wow, you're famous. That was like the first thing I got, was I knew that my magazine was well received, because I was getting a few text messages from some of my friends or my circle going, wow, you're famous. Thanks for sending me the magazine. I had one person that I actually adopted. It was hilarious. She says, I don't want you to spend your money. I work with another agent. And it was funny because she said, my other agent hasn't contacted me and you just started sending me this magazine. I don't want you to waste your money. But you know what? Now that I know that you are really active at marketing my neighborhood, she's like, I may consider using you. So she's like, take me off, but then actually don't take me off. It was hilarious. We had a nice little exchange on that. So
Yeah.
you'll get attention, and it will get it pretty quickly. And it's the consistency that matters, though. It's maintaining that consistent follow through with setting it, forgetting it, and it's a great little magazine. Group 2 would be closed clients. Definitely do the closed clients with a program like this, because they don't hear enough from you. You get busy, you're on to the next client. The closed clients actually love the magazine. So that would be my best tip.
Yeah. So
group 2.
Yeah, sorry. So group 2 is more purchase lists, Zillow, Realtor leads, HomeSnap leads that you're purchasing, or pay-per-click type of things.
Nurturing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even go to group 2. Most people probably have 50 people they know, or if they don't, they probably need to go into their circles and figure it out, because most people have 50 people that they know. If you're new to the area, that would be the only time where I think you probably have to dig a little deeper and join some clubs or some communities, or work with Candace to figure out where you need to be as far as that goes. So start with 50. I think Reminder Media does 50 at a minimum, so it's not that many. And then once you have your group of 50, you send it out. Group 3, you can certainly do affiliates. Those are great. Those are referral partners. My attorney gets the magazine. My dentist gets the magazine. Those are people that I know I can't really count on them to buy from me. Of course they do, but they actually recommend people to me because they have the magazine sitting in their office, or they know that, oh, Rochelle's in the business. Oh, here, instead of giving them my business card, they may be giving that potential client my magazine or my mail piece that was coming out. for the last slide. So the objections that I hear, so after a presentation like that, short, sweet, to the point, that there's a cost associated, these are the common objections that I hear. Is, I don't want to sound too salesy. That seems like a bit much, to send a magazine. I haven't talked to these people in a long time, so I don't want to put them into, a magazine system. The cost, even though, it's a few $100s a month, I don't have that kind of money, then I would look at, hey, where are you putting money into your business? Where are you placing that money to market? Maybe we need to look at ways that you can cut back in other areas and spend money in areas like this that will make you money. And then frequency, a lot of people are like too nervous. Ooh, that's too much, or that's not enough. I'm going to open it up, and Candace, do you mind just spending a minute and just kind of explaining how you would overcome these objections if you had an agent tell you one of these 4 things?
Well, yeah, I mean, an agent say to me that's too salesy. If you don't want, this is a good way to be not salesy, because it's a magazine that has articles. It's not about anything really about home, unless you want to do the home magazine where it's, tips for decor and, bedding and, all the decor type stuff. But when I first started, I didn't have the 50, but they still had that minimum of 50. And what I did was I went through kind of like the VIP. Who are the people that trust me and want to support my business? Because I don't want to be salesy. I'm not the salesy type. I'm like, it's me. When you're ready, I'm ready, right? Come to me. I'm not going to be going down your throat. But this is such a kind of, to me, like a passive way to be in front of people without being in front of them and being too salesy, right? And
Okay.
haven't talked to them in a long time. So what better reason now, right? I've got this amazing team that's giving you information of value. Now, in turn, reciprocation, they'll call you or make it be a reason to call them. I haven't talked to you in a long time. I wanted to just sent you that magazine. I wanted to see if you got that magazine. Is there anything that, I haven't talked in a long time, so let's have some conversation. Make it a reason to. Cost, I think right now and where we're going, you need something that's going to set you apart. And I do have agents asking me all the time, Candace, I want to spend some money. I want to buy some leads. Well, I've never been a big fan of buying leads. Redfin, Zillow, they're great. They're opportunity, but where our business gets built is not in buying leads. And there's no loyalty to those leads. Those leads don't have any loyalty to you. And so people that you can gain the most loyalty from is going to be from your sphere, from the people that know and trust you. So get this out to your friends, your family, the people that trust you. And doing something is better than doing nothing. If you only do the Christmas magazine, the holiday magazine, fine, give it a try, because you don't know what you don't know until you know it. So give it a try. When I first started, I did not have 50 people. I had about, I scrubbed through and I found like 35 VIP. When I first started, I didn't have enough closings to, solidify 50. So I took and I ordered the 15 to come to me directly. And it forced me to take these magazines. I would have them at my open house as a spread at my open house. When I went to the dentist, when I went to the doctor's office, I would leave them there, different places, and share. And as people would come in, to my open house, it's like, oh my gosh. And before I knew it, people were saying, I see you all over the place. And they really, it's the presence of it, right? I wasn't really all over the place, but somewhat, a little bit.
I still send my mother-in-law, and she's never bought a house from me. The house that she's living in right now, she bought.
But she's referring people.
She's referring.
Right? So it's the people that trust you will refer you.
So it's a long game though. As far as the plan, I mean, do you hear anything else as far as objections to doing something like this? Candace, because I think to me, it's like you need something, whether it be a magazine or you need some sort of consistent mail piece. Shannon,
Right.
go to the next, actually, you're on the next slide. It's talking about like
Yeah.
frequency.
Yeah, a recipe.
right?
Yeah, a recipe for success. So in terms of what we've always found is having some sort of mail piece go out consistently, even if it's not monthly, just make sure it's consistently. And then emailing, whether that's just a check-in or a market update or something at least once a month, and then calling them quarterly at a minimum. Checking
Yeah.
in, haven't heard from you in a while. What's new with you? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
and
again
then
the stuff on the left, right? And then it's the spark interest and really ask questions. That's how you can really drill down and help somebody that's in your sphere, and where they feel comfortable and confident referring you to their friends, to their family members. And that's when the business explodes, is when you're at that point in your career, when you already have your base set. And just like Candace and I and you, we all send the magazine. That's kind of like first step, and then growing that. I think I'm doing about 200, maybe 300 magazines. That's how it's grown. So in just only 4 or 5 years since I've been doing magazines, that's how much and I'm not even actively selling, right? Shannon, it's just like people hear and they want, I add them close clients, or I find somebody that I think would be a good fit for my sphere of influence campaign. And then they hear about it and we just keep adding, so it can be something like Hannah said, start small. And then if you need to just get the box of, shipped the extra 15 to your office or to your home office, that would be the way to start. And then it will push you to actually get the word out about your services. Did I cover everything on that slide that needed to be covered?
yeah, I think that's all that we had tonight, Rochelle. So you're welcome to.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope that helped. Candace, thank you so much for helping out tonight and kind of adding this extra, guest speaker, and also some more information about how to work your sphere. I think it was really helpful.
Wonderful.
I definitely need to look into American Lifestyle again. That's what I saw.
Well, they even have social posts and everything. They've actually really kind of exploded with lots of items of value. Single property websites, QR codes, you name it. And you can actually mail this digitally as well. So it's pretty awesome.
Nice. Thank you so much, Shannon. Have a great day,
Thanks, you guys. And then we've got some excellent training. So for those of you who are seeing that we've got the MLS classes coming up, that they're training on the new forms and things like that. Our office is going to have full training on that the first week of October. So pencil those dates in your calendar. Just make sure that you've set aside the time, because we've got a lot of training that we'll do in response to those forms changes. So don't panic. Like Deanne saying, this is just a time of opportunity. So look at it that way, and get in touch with people that you know and who like you, who love you, who want to see you succeed. Thanks, you guys. Have a good week.